Sunt Darius, sunt student la calculatoare anul 4, lucrez în cadrul companiei Lofttrack cu Liviu și am venit să învăț chestii interesante.
Sunt Luca, cred că sunt cam cel mai tânăr de pe aici. Darius m-a chemat și am zis că vin, că poate îmi este de folos și o să aflu lucruri noi.
Mă numesc Alin, sunt și eu student cu Darius la calculatoare, lucrez și eu în cadrul firmei Lofttrack și am venit și eu să învăț lucruri noi.
I'm Jim, a PHP developer from Scotland. I'm just interested to see what you're doing with AI here.
All right.
I'm Ana Maria. Should I speak English, Romanian?
Yes, compre.
Yes, okay. Ok. Atunci prezentarea în română, sorry. Sunt Ana Maria, sunt jumătatea lui Liviu, partener în business și în viață, sunt parte din Lofttrack. Am venit să-i aduc mouse-ul lui Liviu și am rămas. Yes, I do.
Salutare! Andrei Bledea, sunt tovarăș cu expertul în tehnologie din cameră și programator și eu, bineînțeles. Programator și eu, fondator a unei companii de prestări servicii și la câte prezentări fac în ultimul timp, particip la multe evenimente. Practic m-am și săturat la un moment dat, dar vreau să văd cum face AI-ul să gândească singur, chiar sunt foarte curios.
Salut, sunt Denis, tot așa prieten cu Radu și am venit din curiozitate și eu să învăț cât mai mult despre AI.
Salut, sunt Șanta Tiberiu, lucrez și eu în cadrul companiei Programming Pool și am venit la invitația lui Radu să descoperim ce și cum gândește, ce face, cum gândește AI. Mulțumim de invitație!
Salut, sunt Daniel, sunt inginer de machine learning și vreau să văd comunitatea băimăreană ce are de afișat. Și eu tot la invitația lui Radu. Mersi.
Ok. Gazda, lăsăm și Gazda. Hai să ne sună.
Salut, mă numesc Gabriel. Sunt fondatorul unei firme de IT, de asemenea. În mare parte se ocupă de prestări servicii, dar în același timp am început și business-ul ăsta cu coworking-ul alături de doi cofondatori. Și mă bucur că sunteți toți aici.
Ok.
Da. Salut, sunt Vlad. Tot așa la inițiativa lui Radu am ajuns și eu azi aici. Curios de AI și curios de prezentarea de azi.
Salut! Salut! Mă numesc Dan. Bineînțeles, Radu e promotorul. Fiind în gașcă cu el, cum ar veni, am venit pentru berile de după și să aflu ce se întâmplă în mai mare legătură cu AI.
Okay.
Salut, eu sunt Radu. Oarecum sunt sau încerc să fiu un fel de glue al comunității din Baia Mare, printre altele, și sper să iasă ceva fain.
Okay. Și ne mulțumim. Și acum scurtă pauză tehnică. Sperăm că stau bine. Bun. Și, alright. Let's get this party started. Să vedem. Da. Ok. Deci AdoptUn.ai. V-am dat stickerele astea. Cine n-a, dați din mână în mână cutia să mai luați stickere. Am început călătoria asta cu AdoptUn.ai pentru că în România ne aflăm la coada clasamentului. So we are like the last in Europe. So I started this journey to make people adopt an AI. Adoption is a real business, so it's a real thing. It's important for everybody, and we should all care about the AI as we care about the child. And this is not something that it's a joke, because it's as serious as raising a child. And we have 2 children, which are 14 and 16. And basically, we know how hard it is. I will switch from English to Romanian from time to time. De ce nu singur? În primul rând, problema este în general că nu suntem o comunitate. Radu mi-a arătat, n-am știut de comunitatea asta, sau n-am știut suficient, am auzit ceva și cred că împreună putem să ne dezvoltăm mult mai rapid. Și de asta suntem aici, de asta am început acest journey. Partea asta de AdoptUn.ai a devenit un concept, am făcut tricouri, am făcut tot ce ține de partea asta să devină realitate. Am făcut niște cursuri la liceu economic, ceea ce vă recomand și vouă cu studenți, cu elevi, să faceți cât mai mult, să vorbiți despre AI. Și motivul este următorul. Dacă vorbești despre AI, trebuie ca și profesor să ai un standard cât mai înalt și să împarți informație. Și atunci am făcut aceste acțiuni să fac partea asta, să învăț pe alții despre AI. Atât este a doua oară când fac un training tehnic și o să ajungem și la partea tehnică, dar este am făcut multe traininguri simple, să zic așa, normale. Am vrut să fac o paralelă despre cum este partea asta de AI, pentru că gestionăm toate aceste module care lumea, când vede un Cloudbot, da, ați văzut Cloudbot în ultima vreme, a explodat. Câți dintre voi știți de Cloudbot? Ok. Cloudbot is basically something with artificial intelligence, where you can basically put AI in charge of everything. And I think this is basically a very difficult approach. So we should do it like farming. So we'll have sheep, we'll have cows, we'll have everything related to agriculture. So we have to do it in a different way. We all know we can double ourselves with AI. So when we think about the product, we have to think about everything we can put together. Okay. O să vorbesc în română. Sorry, I will have to speak. If I switch, I get messed up. Ok. Și câți dintre voi ați ascultat sau citit cartea Agentic Artificial Intelligence? Nu. Bun, vă recomand această carte în care cuvântul important care e acolo este harnessing. Harnessing, ați auzit de harnessing? Ok. Deci harnessing practic este să direcționezi acești agenți, vine de la partea de căpăstru, de la cai, ca să îi direcționezi și să vadă într-o anumită direcție. Și în momentul în care faci lucrul ăsta și direcționezi și nu le dai prea multe, un context prea larg, da? Deci nu-i pui să vadă prea multe informații, șansele care să facă niște erori sunt mult mai mici. Și în general prefer să le dau niște contexte și, ca să vorbim tehnic, le dau niște MD-uri și niște JSON-uri. Da? Le facem un markdown. We are doing a markdown with JSON. We pack them together. And always we distill knowledge graphs and information together in one file in such way that we think in layers. So if we have layers of information, if we basically take each layer of information, like in the internet, you have 7 layers of internet, right? You have, who can help me with networking? Who knows all the layers? Okay, nobody. Anyway, The idea is physical hardware, when you have packages, when you have infrastructure, the network, TCP/IP protocols, and so on, HTTP and so on. But thinking about all these layers, if we think about layers, then we create a web page, for example, and we have the layer of information. You have the layer of information, and if you stack on top of it the UI, then you stack on top of it the structure of information, how you arrange things on the page, then you pack everything together and you give Claude to do everything at once. It won't be able to focus at each and every element. So this is why we are splitting. Okay in English? Okay. We are splitting everything in pieces. Maybe you heard about sparse attention and focus. So when we focus on one thing, the quality of the result it's a lot better. And I'll show you some real examples. So let's move forward. We are thinking about the levels of autonomy like in a car. We are starting now in this journey to make artificial intelligence basically to drive itself. So this is the end goal. Let's say this is AGI, and this is what most people are saying. But Claudebot and this kind of approaches are really hard because it's not bad because people are trying, but they give all the abilities to something which shouldn't have everything at once because you don't know what will happen. So think about like a car. So you have a steering wheel, you can put shift gears, and you have mirrors, and you have all kinds of sensors which sense the road. Okay, so you know each part how it moves, each part how it relates. And this is why I made this concept of automation and the parallel between self-driving cars and the levels out of autonomy, which at the end, if you think about it, the car has only one purpose. The car has the purpose to drive the road, don't hit anybody, and respect the rules. And it has to tackle different situations. If you think again that all the cars in the road share their knowledge between them, okay? They share everything they learn. It's like in the Facebook, okay? If you send a message on Facebook and it gets on fire and everybody knows about it, it's easy. But then you decide by your own something intelligent, something with its own intelligence. It's totally different because if you train one agent to answer the phone, it has to have a limited context. It has to limit its context, and basically you can have a lot of processes. So how many of you know about n8n? Okay, how many used it? Okay, so the idea in n8n, it's good. It's basically you are stacking processes together one by one, okay, and you have some Python scripts which are specialized to do one task only, okay? It's safe, it's deterministic. You can say, this is the input, this is the output. You can train an AI to output some JSON, so you have a structured way to handle the data. One thing in, one thing out. You can put loops to check at critical points if the two outputs match. You can have, as in any other system, triple redundancy, so you can check 3 times, triple check if needed, okay? And this is brilliant, but this is not the future agentic way. Okay. What I also try to do, I try to do everything, to think about all the ways where we can implement AI. So I tackle the problem. Here we have basically a garden line. Avem o linie de grădină. Dacă mergeți în curte, vedeți că cutia poștală e de un brand, stâlpii de iluminat sunt alt brand. Ca să faci totul să se potrivească, e ca și a face ceva făcut în Python, să se potrivească C# și așa mai departe. Problema asta de design este de fapt o problemă universală. Sistemele noastre nu sunt ajustate unul cu celălalt. Și atunci încercăm să potrivim un API cu alt API, unul e scris într-un fel, altul în alt fel. Am mers mai departe. Aici roboțelul ăsta este un concept în care am folosit o chestiune, nu este un robot real, este un concept. Și am mers în felul următor. Mergeam pe câmpul tineretului și am văzut cum se chinuie lumea să colecteze răhăței. Și am zis, uite, asta e o problemă reală. Cum am putea trata chestia asta cu AI-ul? Și am luat layerele de care vă vorbesc și le-am despărțit. Am căutat, am făcut un deep research în toată lumea despre partea asta, unde sunt cele mai mari amenzi din lume și am găsit că 1000 de euro e partea respectivă. Problema e complexă. Am găsit că fostul fondator al Maravet, care a vândut unei firme americane care are cifră de afaceri de 30 de miliarde de dolari cu 1000 de angajați, practic ar putea să fie clientul unui asemenea robot, a unui asemenea concept. Deci am stabilit ideal client profile pentru așa ceva, adică cine ar putea să vândă, cine are deja piața și poate să implementeze un concept de genul ăsta. Foarte pe scurt, asta e călătoria mea în viață. Deci m-ați văzut și cu Picamărul, am făcut și parte de evenimente și de ce am pus imaginea asta e un motiv foarte simplu. Am fost un generalist. Nu știu dacă... Cred că ați auzit toți de David Epstein. Ați auzit? Ok, dar eu vorbesc de autorul care a scris cartea Range. Cât ați auzit de cartea Range. Cartea Range zice că viitorul aparține generaliștilor. Eu nu mi-am găsit locul în niciun domeniu. Am fost din ăla, cum zicea un tip din Moldova, zicea că maică sa-i zicea împrăștiat, că nu era hotărât ce vrea să facă. Și cam așa am fost și eu. Aici, partea asta am propus-o la Merito, la Romanian Business Leaders. Am fost în fața 300 de antreprenori din România și am prezentat proiectul ăsta cu AdoptUn.ai ca să creez, practic, din acest sistem ceva care să fie interesant. Și acum o să trecem un pic la partea practică, să vă vorbesc cum am aplicat în diverse proiecte chestiunile acestea. Așa. Ok, hai să vedem. Până... Ok. Google Anti-Gravity, cât ați folosit de aici? Ok, bun. Să vedem. Un pic, să scot. Cred că nu o să merg până în escape. Nu vrea? Ok. Bun. Aici asta este practic un proiect la care am lucrat. Hai să vedem. Deci, de pildă, partea asta de... Am încercat foarte mult să explic AI-ului. I was trying to explain to the AI how things are working. And I tried all kind of things. For example, I tried skills, I tried hooks, I tried... how many know about hooks? Okay, basically hooks are ways to direct the AI and to establish some kind of limits. And this is basically an MD file. And while working on this system, I was trying to explain some concepts, some ways of working. And in the same time, I was trying to understand myself what the AI was generating, because you get a huge text and you don't know what to do with it, because you have to read everything and to understand actually what it understood from what you explained. And I thought, okay, what's the best way? And then I got and to discover Mermaid. How many of you know about Mermaid? Okay. There is Mermaid charts and there is D2. How many know about D2? Okay. D2, basically, difference between D2 and Mermaid, it's basically that the information is structured. So we have the same kind of information here. Here we don't have D2. I started to use it later. So this is basically how it's Mermaid is structured. And it generates this sketch from which you can understand what's happening. And okay, let's see some other things where you can see actually how the logic layer works, how everything is structured. So you are trying to build something for a company, and you want the company to understand if what you understood is correct. And the way you can say about it maybe doesn't match the client understanding. Or you want to build something for yourself, and you don't understand how it should work. And by seeing the flows, basically how they work, and seeing the errors, you have a much higher visual processing than reading ability. You process things differently. In general, it's really important to process things in many ways. And I'll show you another thing which is related to this project, how I did it. Hopefully I can find from the thousands of tabs. Okay. How many of you had yesterday problems with ChatGPT? Okay. So.
He asked for one. That's one.
Do you know what ICP means? Okay, one. So ICP is the ideal client profile. So I was trying to match all kind of things to understand from all perspective how things are going. And 1 second, I'll find the images also. I have so many things. Okay, in library. I think it's the easiest. Okay. So. Okay, so I was planning migration of a server. Okay, so migration from one hosting to another hosting is something which is extremely complex, and you have a lot of moving parts. I have DNS sec. I have Dane. How many of you know about Dane? Okay, two. Okay, I have Dane. I have ISP config. I have DKYM. I have SPF. I have Google email, self-hosted email. I have, well, kind of obsessed about things. Okay, and let me open it. And I was trying to understand what's happening there. And let me show you. I kind of got bored about it. So while having all these huge MD files where with AI I was chatting about what's happening, I was making also these migration images, basically pasting the full MD and saying to the AI, create an image about what's happening there. And basically, I caught a lot of mistakes. I've seen that things are not progressing well. And let's turn back to the project. Basically here, if you see, we have governance. How many of you implemented governance in AI projects? Okay, so basically you have to have all kind of fishbone analysis. So fishbone analysis, the ability to drill down for problems. And as soon as I realized that AI has drifted from the target, I made some checkpoints. Immediately I use this, okay, do a fishbone analysis, update your project so it never happens again. Well, this is wishful thinking, but later I found out that actually doesn't work this way. Because if you have a large scope and you want to do like OpenClaw or whatever Claude bot and do which can do everything, then it doesn't work because the context goes way too big. So you rather have coordinators and orchestrators which split the task in, like I said, in the layers which you tackle. And then you have the question of alignment. So for example, you have, I don't know, 10 instances of Claude running at the same time, each working in parallel at something which is part of the bigger picture. You have to establish some kind of protocol, some kind of way for them to align, because I think the best way is to use Gantt charts, because we have to turn back to the classical project management. And if you use Gantt charts, you can see each agent, what it's working on, and you have a holistic view over each part in the project. So, but, well, that's recent. Then you have the definition of done. So you have to let the AI, each AI, how you like things. And for this thing, I started to develop MD files, and now MD with JSON. So MD with Mermaid was the initial stage, and Mermaid with JSON was a later stage, because things have to be placed in context and to be understood. If you look at a JSON file, you understand right away how things are structured. But you have to also match them together, and that's the hardest part. And usually I don't know how many loops between several AIs. How many of you heard about LLM Council? Okay. So LLM Council basically is a system where you give to several AIs the same question, but even LLM console, it's not properly coordinated. So what I found out in my work, it's you have to have somebody who scrapes information from the server. For example, you have something to be done on the server, and then somebody who scrapes information from the interface. So for example, I use like Claude Chrome to scrape the interface. I don't know how many of you use Claude for Chrome to use, how it's called, the DevTools, right? Okay, so for example, I had a problem understanding on Mermet charts. I'll show you, let me see. To be.
It's very nice that it can also generate JavaScript code and execute it on the fly.
Yes.
You can debug like crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see if I can find, I don't. So anyway, like here, for example, I wanted different colors on this mermaid chart. To be able to create different colors, I had to debug the whole thing because I wanted the colors to be shown both on GitHub and on Visual Studio. So I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I don't like to have ugly things. And this was something which basically worked very nice. I don't know. Anyway, going back to the idea, having this kind of information which you see how it flows, you explain through all the ways it goes. It helps you out to structure your thought as well. And for example, while working with AI, I started to notice all kind of syntax it uses. If you look at, for example, Google Anti-Gravity, you would notice all kind of text he repeats, and then you realize that you can give that kind of order. But how many of you have a list of this kind of modes it works?
What do you mean, like custom agents?
No. Basically, in anti-gravity, you have a mode, and then a free-word, basically, command, which tells you. So if you are in plan mode, then you have a certain way of saying things. It's like long tail for Google Ads.
But you speak to each agent slightly differently because of the way they think.
Yes, exactly, but you have certain words. So I started to notice, I don't know here if I can find something. Yes, here.
You can use
mode.
to put it in a mode.
Yes, but also you can see if you start to notice all these things and you understand the concepts, you can switch and organize them. Another thing here, so for example, here I developed a digital twin. For example, for the server, I wanted to replicate for the server migration, I wanted to replicate how everything is constructed on the live server and to emulate everything on a Docker file. And in this project where I wanted to replicate the server, I initiated the Docker, and I started the server to communicate with the Docker file. Okay, then lesson learned. How many of you use lesson learned with AI? Okay.
I have a development guidelines, and a gotchas file. So anytime it makes a mistake, it rectifies it, and then it updates the gotchas file.
Yes, so this is basically during this project, each time I noticed a drift, besides doing a fishbone analysis, I made the lesson learned. So in this way, basically I explained to the AI, okay, look in this file. And this is part of the governance. If you remember also In Star Trek, it was with directives, or in Asimov, it was all these rules, and we try to detect them. There are lean manufacturing, there are Six Sigma, all kind of systems where you can relate ways which things are done in other systems. So basically, lean manufacturing, how many of you know about lean manufacturing? Okay, it's the Toyota system. So basically, it's the way they improve things. As much as you can, you have to think about where, in which industry, the standards of quality are really high. So there it's 5S, there it's Six Sigma. Six Sigma is the rate of error of 99.9997, I think, or something like this. So it's how long the tail of nines is. And basically, you have to think if it's a critical system, then you have to go to a lot of sigmas to not have errors. Okay. Next session command. So for example, you close a session. How many of you use next session? So you plan that the session is closing, and you don't just press Claude -- continuous or whatever system are you using, but also you plan ahead and you say, or for example, on context compact, you have to be aware that the agents will always compact contexts. Do you know how many of you had errors because of context compact? Okay, so basically when we work for a long time, you see on the bottom right that you have until context compact a certain amount of time. So my recommendation is to look if there is about 10%, and also to instruct the model on the compact thing, because you can say, besides to do a compact when you want, you can say certain things to influence the outcome.
Do you have some hints on how to do this better? Because this is a very complicated process.
In general, I try to do as many sessions as possible. So I try to split the task between several sessions. So instead of working with one AI, I do several
And how do you move from one session to another?
I design a messaging system. So they have, sorry?
Use tickets.
Yes, exactly.
I create a roadmap, I create tickets, I create child tickets, and then an agent tackles a child ticket, updates the main roadmap, updates the child ticket, is done, and the next agent picks up the next ticket in sequence. And if you set it out, you can technically sprint plan, and I'm just waiting for a scrum now.
Okay, but if you have a task that takes more than one context,
then how would you do it in a project? You would split it into child tickets.
No, but you don't know. So it's like you do a research, let's say.
Okay.
This is what happens. I spawn another agent. So the minute I see or.
No, but the main context at some point it gets filled.
Yes.
And so what you would end up doing is at that point, dump it in a README, and then get the next agent.
In an AMD.
I know, but what do you dump in the
You would dump a bullet pointed list.
I know, but you ask the AI to do the bullet point.
Yeah.
Okay, because why I'm asking, because so I'm not joking. This is a very complicated problem.
Yeah.
There are research papers. Google is doing a lot of research papers on this, so it's very hard to determine what's best to move in the next context. Because
one thing I found was creating a belief system. You can create a belief system and a knowledge system.
I know, but it's very hard because you don't know exactly what is best to move, and the AI doesn't know what's best to move.
Well, for example,
because you have also this, like distance. So it's very
if for example you're in like a debug and you're running out of context, you know that you've tried this, this, and this, right? So that goes into your belief system. This failed, this failed, this failed. Okay, so when the next one starts, he picks that back up. He already knows not to bother with that, not to bother with that, not to bother with that. The problem is when that gets too
yeah.
But then your problem may be a bit bigger.
Sorry?
I watched yesterday live stream from Microsoft that had the exact same issue when it comes to too large context for a session to actually use. And at the end of the session, well, they mentioned that when you started a new one, well, it loses its memory. So what they do, I found it quite rough. They ask the agent to create a brief of the previous session in order to get
Yes.
the
It's
contract.
fine, it's fine, but that's the problem.
But
Because,
that's the issue.
Because you don't know if the AI will
include
take what
everything.
is relevant.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
complicated,
Exactly.
So it's a complicated problem.
even Microsoft has the same problem.
It
It's
is
not
everywhere.
that locally.
Could you use the council for that?
Sorry? Yeah, but
Load the context of the previous thing, send it to 2 LLMs to see if they can.
well, what I used, it's if you use Claude, it stores several plans in the main plan folder. So it has .claude in the project, and it has a separate .claude in a separate place. And in anti-gravity, actually, you may see from time to time, I don't think I have in this session, there is references to brain. How many of you saw references? So he.
I don't use that. I just use VS Code for the agents, and I've built my own knowledge system.
Okay. Anti-gravity uses brain, and he also uses ultra long sessions. So what I like here basically, it's the fact that you can export the thing, but the problem is, for example, it doesn't export everything. So if you have
The thinking doesn't get exported.
yeah, exactly. Not only so if it works on the console, for example, and it keeps repeating all kind of errors, then it's not fun. Okay, so
By the way, a bigger context doesn't solve, let's say, the problem because it gets a little bit stupid, more stupid.
Microsoft also mentioned that whenever you give instructions to an AI, you need to be right in between too little and too much. Because if you give it too much, it will start to fabulate and will start to think improperly because it has too many instructions and it doesn't have too much liberty on its own judgment. But if you give it too little, it doesn't know exactly what you want. So there's also a mix match when it comes to the right size of context.
What I can say, for example, on this migration, because this was a really hard problem. So I had to go into the server in rescue mode. I had only one console and all kind of it was I couldn't break the server, so it was a really tough situation. So I didn't want to lose everything. Of course, we had backups and everything, but it was a kind of a challenge to see if it can work. But it worked. My admin, who has 15, maybe 20 years experience, didn't manage to do the migration from Ubuntu 2024. It was some kind of problem, but with the AI we managed. It went bad at some stage. We had to activate rescue mode, but at the end we managed to do it. And this is how this project came about. Basically, trying to understand what was what and how it worked and what it worked. And okay, so then all kind of every kind of problem we encounter, we basically found a system to mitigate that problem and to attack it and to transform it in real knowledge, usable again and again. And each time, basically, I can reuse this entire project and I can use all the learnings from the server. So this is basically when I planned the migration, I looked at tools which are local on the computer who handles to test the remote server, and then tools on the remote server which have limited access. For example, some have root. We have hooks, pre-hooks, post-hooks. We have levels. So, for example, some things are disabled by default, and the agent can ask for higher permission. Of course, all the dangerous commands are forbidden. So, having all kinds of agents each tackling its own thing, it's much safer than something, and it's also in context has a lot better chance to win. And next, I think it's important. Yes.
Quick question. Do you know about or have you used the Warp Dev terminal?
No, I didn't.
So it's like a terminal with AI, and it, for example, you can execute. It generates the commands, the shell commands that you need to execute, and it can also do it remotely through SSH, and it runs some auto discovery commands to see what operating system is or what's installed, and it adapts to stuff like this. So, for example, a migration like you did, for example, you could do maybe, I don't know, easier, not necessarily easier, but in a helpful way, so it can discover what's there, and you want to say that you want to clone it on the other SSH, so it can...
Basically, I made something like this. I made something like this, but I prefer to have different agents, so different instances which handle different things. And I made about 200 scripts. So if you don't extract real information from the server and tackle with script files everything, then it completely lies to you and say, oh, this is done. This is the space you had. So for example, I tried to do a log file and where he saves everything and say when it executed something. And it invented time. It said, okay, at 16, and I said, what's happening? The time is wrong in the log. It was not in sequence. What kind of log is this? Okay, I said, okay, what did you use? How did you log things? And I discovered it didn't use any tool to create the timestamp. So that's why I made over 200 scripts to make sure everything is deterministic, it's not AI bullshit. So if you don't do tools which are used, then don't rely on it. And this is, again, what I'm saying, it's happening with Cloudbot. It's like the stupid fire to light everything. It's okay.
Conditions you pretty much threw yourself over because AI will start hallucinating when you overuse it. That's how it does, and then it's really hard to get back on track.
Yes.
How things you seen or imagined before.
New session.
Yeah, it is a new session. Context. Yeah,
Yes, but then you have to restart again.
Yeah, which it's unproductive at that point.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
So you actually use the agents to set up the new server, right?
Absolutely every migration, everything was done and checked by my admin.
So you have agents doing
yes.
different things, like
yes,
this one is
yes,
setting up
yes,
an,
yes, yes, yes,
Each agent with the
yes,
task.
yes, yes,
Specialized agent.
But the agent generated the scripts, or they
yes.
did, okay, so they didn't do the operations. They generated scripts.
Yes, they did the operations.
They did the operations.
Okay, so then what
yes,
are the scripts for?
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes, yes.
This is what I wanted to ask.
Yes, this everything. It was crazy.
So what was the
coordination. The difference is basically we established governance, we established drift sensors.
What agents did directly and what you did through scripts? Because you said you generated 200 scripts.
Yes, but this is part of the system. So the system has a repository of tools it uses to do everything.
I know, but the scripts
yes.
generated for doing the migration.
Yes,
okay.
with AI. So
the agents didn't execute the commands.
Yes, they did. So each time, each script basically.
So they made the script or they executed the command.
So I established. I'll explain. Okay, I established a system where how the scripts can be created. So I said, okay, this is the blueprint for script. You have to output. So I use progressive disclosure. Do you know the principle of progressive disclosure? Okay, progressive disclosure is one of the most important ways to work with AI. Why? So basically think about a book. You have an index. Okay, from the index you go directly to the right context. So I said, okay, you see here, template directories, grabbing use, all these are titles. Okay, so it knows where to go and it knows if it's in the right position.
I did that with a mono repo, so I could have 8 repos where my AI could basically look over the full context of all of them by following.
Yes.
For example, there was a problem with Salesforce not passing information through an API to another platform. It would basically be able to read all the way because there was a map like this.
Yes. So basically.
I just called it a context map. I didn't
Yes.
call it progressive
Okay.
disclosure.
No, but read about progressive disclosure.
It's what I do, but I've just called it a different name.
No, but search the term progressive disclosure because you'll find out it's really important to grasp the concept. I don't know if I explain it well. The idea is to have this kind of index and blueprint of doing the scripts, so it always knows. It's like giving a frame of reference. If it knows all the scripts output the text, so basically each script outputted a text which was formatted, so for example, extracted from the logs. Again, everything was extracted in a certain way. It's each thing. It has, you see, the numbers. It has a certain blueprint. Establishing this kind of system ensured that the results are accurate and if they are readable. If you have a structure behind the layer of information and you give the structure always the same way, even if the content is different, but the structure is the same, the blueprint is the same, it will most likely understand everything the right way. And this is basically, I scratch my head. My wife knows for like 3 days, only this project. Okay.
Question.
Yes.
So if you tomorrow
yes.
need to move to another server.
Well, actually, I'm planning to because I want I want to get rid. It's too expensive this server, and I want to move to Hetzner. And this was stage 1, migrating to. I wanted to see I'm able to do it without the admin. He only said to me, this is wrong. And he sent me a message, and that's it. And I did it, and I fixed it. So each time I had a problem from him, or I identify a problem, I created scripts, I made the same blueprint, and I worked on the flywheel.
You have a reinstall grab there.
Yeah, it was spastic. It was.
So you created script for every service that you want to install in that server?
No, sorry. Yeah, okay. No. So I have ISP config. So, for example, with Claude, I managed to go from 2.2 to 2.4 in 1 hour to migrate everything, and it went perfectly. Even the reboot, everything, it was great. But I don't know what, even if my admin went from 2.2 to 2.4 and it crashed. So I don't know what was the issue and what particularities this hoster had. I use Webtropia. I don't know what was the particular, and they had a Lantronics KVM, and it's with German keyboard, and you don't want to know it. It's horror. Anyway, yes.
I had to do the same thing, but I went with another approach.
Okay.
I used Ansible.
Yeah, that was my next question. Why you didn't use Ansible?
And
I wanted to build a tool to ensure.
Yeah, Ansible does this. And
Okay.
you can build Ansible with AI.
Exactly. It's
the
Claude,
scientist approach.
Yeah.
Claude,
Yes.
it's great with Ansible because Ansible is really well documented.
Yeah.
So
And it's also multi.
That is why I asked why did you build scripts for
and
each
you
service?
don't have to give the agent access to your server, which is
Okay, but
a little risky.
I know the risk I took. That's why I had the backup and I have everything. But the idea was to build this system to ensure that I can do this, that by myself.
That was a learning.
Yes, it was a learning project. It was a learning project where I had something real which hurt me if I didn't succeed. It was a self-hackathon to advance in such a way that I understand the limits, what I have to do. The learning experience was so great because it was such a big stake project, because I had all my businesses in this server. And if I didn't succeed, my clients wouldn't call me. So I was kind of effed. So yeah. It was challenging, but I wanted to learn something from it in the right way. And I learned really a lot of things. As I said, with the JSON and Markdown, with, for example, if I would install to somebody a Claude bot, now I know how I do it.
I have another question.
Yes, sure. I'm listening.
You run this from terminal, yes?
Yes.
Like Radu said, if you are running work.
Not only for terminal. So I used things on my laptop to communicate, to check things which the server produced as well. So I used several instances of Claude, each tackling a different thing. Then progressively I installed hooks. I realized I stopped right at the moment it was doing an RF command, and I said, what's happening?
And Claude is connecting the SSH and running remote scripts on the server?
No, I use the Claude on the server. I use Claude on the, yeah.
Okay. So if you're running work, like Radu said, you can connect to that, and if a script has a problem, work terminal will suggest and fix that problem to you in the script.
Yes, but I did it. I did it right.
You don't need Claude on the server.
Yeah, I understand.
You only need work and that's it.
Yes, but for example, speed was crucial here in this operation. So for example, I will give you one example. How slow can you type at rescue mode? So I wanted to be as fast as possible. So the process was like this. Until it went back to rescue mode, Claude was preparing to paste everything in case it didn't succeed. The reboot didn't succeed. So so basically I used a process of preparation always, okay, if you fail, okay, consider we failed and it doesn't restart the right way. Prepare the next stage, prepare the next stage. So I try to do like a flywheel and to understand how to tackle it. And now, for example, let me see if I can find the right picture.
What do you mean when you said that your clients are on this server, on that server?
Well, I have emails. It's yes, exactly.
So it's a single point of failure for the website, for example.
Yes, it's a single point of. We have backups. We have. No. The idea, I have several backups. I have several backup servers. It was not this. I wanted to do the brutal way on the live server, so I.
You are very risk averse, huh?
Yeah, let's say.
I don't usually test my AI agent, but when I do it in production.
Yeah, exactly. You see. So. Yeah. So for example.
That's only him dying, not the client.
Yeah, it was a weekend, so don't worry about it. I started on Friday evening and I hackathoned until Monday, so don't worry about it.
Maybe you should start with a parachute or something.
I had parachutes. I had 2 mirrors of the server. I said to my admin, I said like this. He said, you can start breaking everything.
Like,
So
please go more. No?
yeah, so it's not a problem. So and also it was a learning. I constructed this server with Dane. I said I don't know how many use Dane. I mean, check everything with Dane. It's really complicated, and yeah, you have to have Cloudflare token. You have to have update automatically, and it's a mess. So, for example, how I would do with email accounts. So, next thing I'm planning is to give AI not a production this time. So, I'm moving away from production, and I want to be really careful this time. And
Don't let him know, maybe.
so basically, I have the base email. And then I have a sync system to a replica, which is basically the only thing the AI can see from my email. So it can access everything I have. And then I have an organized thing where AI can do everything, taking from the source email, the replica which I have, and working on it to produce everything. So everything gets isolated. We have the sync, the replica can be only read by the AI, and the organized thing can only send emails to me, to one email. It has a separate port, it has a separate everything, environment and everything. So and they will process things and send tasks which are already done. It will be my personal assistant. But
you took every MD file,
yes,
all of your configs and all of your settings, and
yes,
dumped straight into ChatGPT as well.
yes, exactly. Let me. Okay. Yes, exactly. So what I did is not ChatGPT. Anyway, what I did, it's basically, well, I posted on LinkedIn the system.
How did you generate the images then? You must have thrown them into ChatGPT.
Yes, of course, but all the steps are, again, all these security systems. So I tried to think about all the ways. You know, how many of you work with templates? He knows what I mean. Okay, so basically I thought about a system, how I have to change all the passwords. So that's not, and all the keys. So we already did that. But I wanted to develop the system in such a way that never the passwords are sent. I don't know how many you know that Claude uses bubble wrap, so it's isolated from the main operating system. So when you start with root Claude, basically it starts in a bubble wrap. So it's not actually root. So it has some kind of environment where it can only read files if it's allowed in its own system. So basically, when Claude is run in this bubble wrap has the hooks, okay, and has all the system to prevent. So, for example, when I type in a password now, it immediately engages a hook. And how many of you heard about GitHub leaks? Okay, so basically, she heard about it. Okay, so basically, GitHub leaks. It's a system which prevents passwords to be leaked on GitHub. So I took that system, the GitHub leaks system, all these regex systems to detect when a password is written. The system Claude rejects it, and it has, like in Lovable, I don't know in Lovable if you know, you can enter the password in a secure way. So yes, to answer this, yes, I thought about this and all the ways. And I actually designed the system by I don't know how many iterations between Claude and ChatGPT. Claude made the plan. Then I went to ChatGPT extended thinking mode, and back and forth and back and forth, and it was just crazy. And basically, when I got bored and tired, it was like 20 times because I wanted this to really work. When I heard about GitHub leaks, I said, oh, okay, we touched something interesting. So this is not something which wasn't done before. And I remembered about Lovable having this system to input password separately. And I asked, okay, how do you store secrets? For example, because Claude stores secrets which it can't access. So it has tools also inside. So in the bubble wrap, it has kind of tools. So he can output files with things it cannot see. So basically, you use a tool, you use a template type, like in the old days with PHP and the tags for templates. You don't say it's, how it's called, you don't ID it. You say password, just password. So it can be backtracked something exactly. And of course, I don't think actually that, first of all, we use a Claude team, which means the AI can train on our information. So I don't think the risk of leakage is actually there because they can't cache because we use a company account. But even so, I wanted to be extra protected and think through about the clients who don't have this. So again, it was a learning experience. And what else it was about the passwords? Yes, there is keyring. I don't know how many of you use keyrings. Okay, so I try to, I have a hashtag 1000 rabbit holes. Okay, so this is my answer to security because this is kind of a product. If you think about it, how many companies wouldn't want their secrets to be stored properly? Who would they trust who understands such a system? Because at the end, today, selling thinking system with AI, it's basically about establishing trust with clients and doing it properly. And them to understand also how the system works. If you do sketches and you explain and you show them charts and graphs and let me see where is the GitHub, for example. Hopefully my.
Another question that I have.
Yes.
Did you validate each script that you run in the production server?
Yes. Absolutely.
The admin side.
Yes.
The DevOps team, yeah?
No. I was the DevOps. I was the DevOps. No, I was the DevOps team.
You are the DevOps team.
Yes, I was the DevOps team.
So you reviewed your own code.
No. Sorry. AI reviewed his own code.
You just vibe review your vibe code.
No.
You see?
You set two different models out and you say, this one's got it wrong. Tell me where he's wrong.
Yeah,
that's what I
That's
did.
the proper approach.
I use debate. No, but I mean it. I use debate.
That's a good approach.
This is the technique, using debate between two AIs. And the way I did it, so for example, I said, the other agent said this, feel free to disagree and improve.
He's lying.
And then so I had that because I use mine with the mono repo as an architect, and I basically got him to come up with a plan, then wiped the context and said, I've got this plan from a senior developer, but he's wrong, point out where he's wrong, and it said, actually,
Yes.
He's right, in
Yes.
this way, and this way, and this way.
Yes.
And I was like, okay.
Yes. That's why I used also the images. The images provided me crucial information about how the bigger picture. Each process, that's why I generated so many images. These images help me understand, as well as mermaid charts, all this. So for example, I had, how many of you know about the word SOP? Okay, so this SOP, it means standard operating procedure. Always refer to the things which AI understand what they mean. If you use just one token, SOP, it understands that it needs a certain, you basically put in a harness. Yes, you make it think in a certain way. It will go to the knowledge graph in a certain way, in a certain structured way. And this is why I call the beauty of designing thinking systems. This is what I said. Beauty is this, finding the ways with which to explain the entire system, to organize and systematize everything, and think about all the Star Trek things, directives, and all these things have been written in science fiction books for ages.
It's hard and it's an art, honestly.
Yes, so yeah, it's drift avoidance. So for example, I will give you one thing which is funny. So it was a test done on drivers of cars, and the people who hit a tree were thinking how to not hit the tree. So they focused on the tree. The people who didn't focus on the tree, but on how to escape, actually didn't hit the tree.
It's called target fixation.
It's an old skier's analogy. It's how do you not hit the trees when you go into the snow?
On motorcycles,
Yes.
Motorcycles even more important.
Yes.
Go a bit faster.
And also,
you don't have protection.
and also the same way you said. I said critic. I said think about it. I will tell you another thing. You know, Six Thinking Hats. Edward de Bono. Six Thinking Hats. It's make a note about this book. It has all kind of layer, the ways to see things. So it has the black hat. So to see the critical, and it has the creative.
CEO basically.
The
The sole person that wears every hat in the startup is the founder that started the startup.
Yeah, exactly. But doing a six thinking hat analysis on the project gives you all these perspectives. So you say, okay, I have this MD plan. Use six thinking hats to explain it to me. And then you see all kinds of perspectives. Perspectives is everything, as I said, from the beginning with the layers, with the design layer, with the context layer, with the structure. If you put everything together in one go, it won't go. Okay. So, okay. Then I had the fishbone agent. Basically, this, let me see, it's this, nah, it's not the one. Where is the one which I did with the nice, I don't know, where is the one with the nice designs? Knowledge graph, yes. See, what else? Incident report, okay? This was the system log. And it invented times. When you see them at the beginning, you see, this clearly are not. They are in sequence. Okay, always 1 minute difference. Okay, when things started to be real, okay, and yeah, it was incident report. So, sorry?
Use an SQLite.
Okay.
For your event.
Yes, I thought of.
It's the only way to do
Yes,
it.
yes.
AI isn't going,
So,
oh, I think it's this time.
There is NH. How it's called, boys? No, let me have a look 1 second. So basically, I thought about having one database, but I think it's not enough. There is one type of vector database, HN. Who can help me? HN, nu știu. Not for logs. Basically, for the basically what I want the AI to have is the several ways to store information. As I gave the example with MD and JSON, or MD and Marmaid. If you want to put a round peg in a square box, in the square hole, you have to force it, okay? So if you give all kind of types of database to store information, it will do much better than if you use one type only. So
I recommend you SurrealDB. It's designed for especially this. It has
this
multiple representations of data.
Let me see.
And it's for Argentine.
One second. Okay. I will tell you exactly what's this.
This is not only vector database. This has graph.
So HNSV, it's a semantic search. NH, let me see. Let me bring it to the screen. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. So here, hierarchical. Basically, you have as many layers as you want, and it goes. So basically, I was thinking how to retrieve all kind of information in different formats. So this I found to be good at certain things. So
for any other thing.
Yes, exactly. It's not. I'm not trying to.
You don't reinvent the wheel. You just want to find your particular usage.
Yes. So
you have a specific case to cover. You need a specific solution for it.
Yes. So for example, what I've done recently with Claude, it's basically I use tools per project and databases per project, which are adapted to that project. So I use.
But are they scalable?
Therefore, only for.
I know they are specifically for that, but
the way
that project to, let's say, implement feature.
The way I think, even for this project, the way I think it, you have a system designer, and you have the executor layer. Basically, this would be a tool for admins to use AI to keep developing the tools. So you have to think about that flywheel and to direct that flywheel. And the flywheel where they develop the tools will go to the scripts which are to be embedded on the server. So you have to have several, like Matroshka dolls, okay, onion layers.
Oh yeah.
And each layer basically has its own.
To the other layer and such, like
Yes.
Essentially microservices.
Yes. I'm not, as I said, I'm trying to get system like Gantt chart and like so to find ways that people already scratch their heads for ages to adapt to, like GitHub leaks and so on. So yeah, I'm taking a short break to drink water. So if you have some questions or
If you have used something like Ralph Loop.
Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't use it, and I don't want to use it. I don't feel in control.
It ain't stupid if it works, man. Don't worry. The agents are already doing it.
As long as
so even if you don't use it intentionally, even Copilot is using it already.
That's what I do when I say make a to-do list. It just brute forces it.
Yeah, but your agent is using it already. So.
So, yeah.
But you can enhance it.
Mhm.
Because maybe they are not using it efficiently.
The fun is basically to put it like you were saying, put it in a gotchas file or like a learned knowledge file.
That, yeah, for later, but that is different. Yeah. It's not for the current prompt.
You could, in a sense,
Rather for the current prompt.
yeah, but you could set up that basically that he then not adds to it and just keep, basically tries to keep running the same thing. Because that's what he's doing, it's a brute force. If he did it, got a certain way, then realized, and then
But
he
it's not,
wrote an entire prompt with another agent to then send it back in.
like that, yeah, it's not, that's what I'm saying, it's not necessarily just rerunning that old prompt again and again. You can enhance it,
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Well,
what I'm saying. You can use it smarter.
In a sense, need to.
What I'm doing.
Different agents or different LLM or the same one.
Pretty much on based feedback from two separate agents, so it
Actually,
becomes more efficient.
when you enable thinking on an LLM, it does like a Monte Carlo simulation, so it branches out the next token and branch, and then it does an analysis of each branch and takes the best one. So it already does something
For the
similar.
most efficient one.
It's basically A star, but in it's kind of doing an A star but in vector.
But A star, you don't have the.
No, not A star. What's the one I'm thinking?
A star, you need destination.
Yeah, no, where it does that.
This is one.
But could the destination not be the goal?
Monte Carlo simulation is this. The destination is not. You don't know where you need to get. No. A star, you have a fixed point.
Yeah, I think we should move to individual questions for now, and then to see what we can come together from this meeting. Radu, or whoever wants to. Yeah, okay.
How confident? So the system worked, yeah?
Yes.
And if tomorrow you will start the migration again, you will use these scripts?
No, not only those. So I already started to, again, with the migration, I started to, again, this, not Ralph loop, but Claude to
reiterate all the scripts and all the
now,
commands?
basically here, so I have a lot of moving parts. I have Cloudflare, which handles a lot of the DNS parts. Then I have all the hosters specific. So you have like server data, you have virtual in Hesner, you have buckets which you can allocate. So you have to think about the hardware layer. Then you have to think about if you transition a DAIN system based, you have email deliverability issues. So when you migrate an email server, you have a big issue if the other systems don't accept your emails, and if you are listed as a junk and so on. And I don't know how many of you have email servers, are handling email servers. Okay. How many of you are rated 100% of Internet NL?
98.
Okay, I'm 100%. So just to okay, so I'm 100%. So my standards are very high on security, and this means both on the server side and on the visible side. And that's why also on the deliverability side, because if you do a business email and you send to a client and it gets to exactly, I don't want to end it in spam. And I always, so I have also the Gmail account on the same domain. So I have Gmail and so as I have so many moving parts. Yes, and DMARC as well. Yeah.
I know, like you said, he did this before, and we did it with Ansible, and I think it's more elegant in terms of using scripts here. You can try to see, but doing it with AI, but asking AI to generate Ansible script, because because in the Ansible scripts you can.
Okay, I'll make a note.
You can control. Yeah, you have control, and you can do modules. Like you said, I have Cloudflare, I have emails, I have other services,
Mhm.
I have time synchronization between servers and other stuff. And basically, this Ansible you can specify for each individual module. Okay, I have an infrastructure that has all of those, or I have an infrastructure that has half of what I need.
Yes, the thing here, for example, particularly, I don't know. I didn't test. I want to test it. The thing here, I was trying to get the data as fast as possible directly from with the tools. So the process, the time to generate, I don't know how Ansible works. When I tested, if this was the best solution for me with the information I was comfortable to do, because I work with. Yes, yes. So I will test Ansible to see how it works, but maybe on the next iteration, not right now.
Like Kubernetes or stuff like that is too complicated. You don't need such a big service.
The thing is, I have clients who work with private servers, so different. If I do it, I can use Docker. I can use all kind. Every layer which you add on top of the hardware layer. For example, I don't know.
You mean now about the speed or security?
About all the kind of vulnerabilities. So everything you add on top adds a layer of vulnerability and also a layer of load. It takes processor power.
What services do they run there, like websites or what?
No, it's my own. So we use Node. We design.
If you use Node, you don't care about speed.
No, it's.
You just make 100x.
Okay, okay. I use Node. I use Rust. I use PHP.
Rust, yeah.
Okay, we are testing. Okay, maybe you can give me a better solution than Babylon.js for 3D with Node. I don't know. If you give me, I'm open, so I'm not against it.
But Babylon runs on the servers, on the client side. So
Yes, but okay. Well, the thing is, so for example. Okay, we are working on this tool. Let's see if it loads, because last time we had some problems.
So is the new server?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
A tool to create a 3D plane of a bag. What?
Yeah, I don't know. We are working on it. I don't know what's there. But
actually, Babylon, I started a bit because I told you yesterday I'm doing something similar. So Babylon.js is pretty nice as a framework. So there is 3JS, which is faster, let's say, but it doesn't offer you so many. Let's say.
I tested both, and
maybe for your case is better.
Well, it was nice. So what it produced, we have these things with playgrounds, which basically, let me see.
But by the way, the objects are created are based on real objects that you.
Yes, this is products we are selling, so it's real.
And these are created by some company.
Yes. Basically, we are selling these products. Let's see. So this is, let's see this one. Okay. Care au băieții 3D-uri? Darius.
Păi trebuia să... Eu nu știu dacă nu e problemă de la migrare, că pe 3D mi-a apărea platforma și nu mi încărca 3D-urile când am încercat să lucrez. Și acum nu știu dacă apar pe site oficial 3D-urile acolo, că practic sunt aceleași 3D-uri.
Și câteva face ce ar beneficia de prezentări 3D de astea în imobiliare.
big mind.
Hai să văd la elipsum, că ar trebui să fie acolo. Colecții.
Ce asta? Asta e la care pare că nu are
Yes, yes.
Also mobile.
Yeah, it has also augmented.
Most users use mobile anyway.
Yeah.
Who needs
I don't know. Anyway, the idea.
Inspect it and put it on mobile.
Yes. I don't know. Anyway, I have to see something. We had also some problems when we made meetings. Let's see if it's some. I don't know what happened.
So it's using 3JS. Okay, so that's
No.
talking about.
We use 3JS here, but Babylon on the 3D.
I understand.
But on 3D, yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll debug it. It's not a problem. We are doing. Yeah, it's in production. But for example, we basically this year we changed the website like I don't know how many times. Things get broken.
If somebody doesn't accept that, they shouldn't get it or anything.
Yeah, the idea is.
Or in life, let's say.
The idea is we made something which nobody else on the market has on our field, so it's.
Yeah, you need a game changer.
Well, we are actually rebuilding all this because this is just one HTML and one JSON.
This is one HTML and one JSON.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, okay. So all this, and I tell you on your device it will work faster, and it generates zip files. You can add to cart. Okay, it works. Look here. Okay, it can download all the files. It zips you everything. Okay.
So if it's just JSON, does it
Yes.
then mean that all the functionality is directly
Yes.
inserted in the HTML? So
Yes,
it's
yes.
technically spaghetti code, but it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, exactly. We are rebuilding it. Yes, it was the fastest solution to deploy really fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can
We are.
remake it in more.
We are actually.
Vibe coding. If you want to do something quick, use vibe coding. If you want to do
Yes.
something long time, don't use vibe.
Don't use vibe.
We basically what we did here. It's very simple. If you want to develop some rapid prototyping, if you stay 1 year and develop the system, then you find out the clients don't like it. So yeah, exactly. We did it like this. We made let me show you.
Had something to show for the clients, so that
Exactly.
can be onboarded a lot faster.
Exactly.
After you did
This thing we made in 1 day. So this was.
No one can complain about that in 1 day. But
Okay, but it has.
it has all the stuff that you need.
Yeah, exactly. It has videos. It has 3D.
And
Let's.
you can charge for maintenance when you actually rewrite the code.
This one, hopefully, it will actually load. Let's see. We'll see. I don't know. I didn't test this.
At least 50 microservices.
At least 50.
Yeah. So we are rebuilding these things, but first you want to establish the interface. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, use an AI to rebuild it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need the MVP.
So basically, the way we did it, it was the other way around. We extracted the JSON with all the data, and we gave the JSON to the AI and built the interface. No, no, Claude. but back and forth with ChatGPT. So for example, this file, it's like 600 kilobytes. It's pretty big. No.
It's not?
No, it's not.
God, I'm not using GPT because it annoys me. It's
For-
not as efficient.
for-
From business development, specifically for business development, GPT sucks.
Different stroke for different folks. We use kind of everything. So we switch depending on the task.
Maybe you haven't chosen the appropriate model from them. Don't worry, I understand. They have like 16 to choose from.
I have 16. I haven't even tried.
So anyway, the feedback from the client, the feedback from the clients which used it, they said it's great. We had the iteration, and now we. Sorry.
If they're happy, send them the invoice.
That's it. And at the end, right now, we are rebuilding the one which we stabilized, and we say, oh, okay, we are bored with so many changes. Now we stabilize and implement SEO, because it's clearly not crawlable, right? Yeah. But to arrive at the proper design, which is usable, and we used it every day to search for products and to add to cart and to construct real offers. Because if you don't know and you do the entire shebang, we actually did it before, and we didn't like it. Oh, yeah. And after 1 year, we threw all the development money away because it wasn't functional. So this time we made it differently, and I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I think this is the future. I made websites with Lovable, I made websites in the different way, but for example, just to rebuild this About Us page, which is absolutely obsolete, okay? It was a nightmare. So I thought, how the F should I rebuild this page? And that's why I write an MD file and JSON. Because what we are, basically, we are a distributor of products from companies which have 500 employees, 300 employees, and we are 6 people. Yeah. So how can you gather all the knowledge and to say, okay, I represent this, I represent that? So we build JSONs, which basically build the new interface, and it's not ready. but the thing is, data is correct now. I'm in this business with playgrounds since 20 years ago, and the thing which is the most important is that I have my own real business case, which I depend on to know if I do it right. So I have the proper knowledge, I understand standards, I understand how the business is done, I understand the ideal client profile and so on. And I see if the AI is wrong. So for me, it's a unique perspective, and it's a big advantage that I have this business where I can test things and break things and actually leapfrog all my competitors on this field, because from 3 years ago, I started on this journey, and from like 30 years in IT. So I think we are at 9 o'clock almost. So if you have any questions, please ask. Everybody has to have a question, so sorry. Okay, Silvio, you are asleep?
No, I'm just trying to think about a situation where, let's say, you went live, everything is fine, but in the next days you have an issue, and you create a lot of scripts with these tools. What would be the approach in order to find out why the server doesn't work, probably even doesn't work, or something which probably you skip it?
I already told you I have an admin who looks over everything. So when I
humans in order to.
Yes, of course. I'm also one of the humans which checks, because I use daily my business email. For me, it's dead and life issue. So that's why I'm saying I have to build this system as reliable as possible because I don't have a reliable business otherwise. So from the past, so I administered my server, let's say about 50 to 60% of the task I did myself anyway. So I know what should come out of the scripts and what should work and what didn't work before. And I spent like weeks fixing Dane and weeks fixing DKYM and so on. Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What happens if you, for example, you need to add different, more configs and more, let's say, more services here?
I have ISP config. Do you know ISP config? Yeah. So this is basically a system. It's like how it's called. Yeah, I have to look. There are systems to oversee servers, to create multiple clients, to create.
No, I mean you need to add. So, for example, right now with your scripts, you are using to deploy, I don't know, web servers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if tomorrow you need to deploy, let's say, for example, Graph database or MongoDB or other services that are, you need DevOps to config. You use AI for that.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. But the thing is, now we will move to staging server.
Okay.
So even here, this ISP config, we have testing accounts. We have several things, and we installed the jail. How it's called? Who can help me? Just a second. Where you limit the abilities of user to go to the entire server with SSH, how it's called? Armor, up armor. I think that's one. Am I wrong? Anyway, so basically we have user separation, we have... sorry? Anyway, so we have bubbles in the server. Not everything is containing accounts, clients, websites. So ISP config, it's one thing, and we are using also not AppArmor. I don't recall right now. I have too many things in my context. Yeah, yeah. So.
Start removing some, yeah.
Yeah, well, I compact and put in another MD. But yes, for this experience was very good to systematize my thinking. Please.
It's not a technical question, but I was wondering how many hours of sleep do you get by night?
Oh my God.
Tonight I slept 2 hours. This night I slept 2 hours.
Well, it's because I didn't get all the details you get, the technical details, but I get the bigger picture, and I wanted to say that it's something amazing that you are doing. So
Thank you.
You are an AI. I think you're an AI. You are making us now.
Okay. Please.
So I'm not a technical person, and my level of understanding is very basic. I made a lot of notes from this meeting, and I will dig in and find more information separately.
Sure. Okay. A question, maybe? Doesn't have a technical. No, but a real. I'm not a technical person either. No, I mean it. I'm a business person. I'm selling.
So I have to think about it.
Okay, sure.
No question for now. Too much information to digest.
Overload.
Wait.
Context overload. Compacting.
Exactly.
Okay, Darius?
Same thing, no questions. I learned some new things. I knew some things we discussed so far.
Darius, they have a large context. I train them maybe 2 or 3 hours a week on different kind of things, so we are
It's
lucky.
a neutral zone. You can ask them at your office. It's not your boss anymore now for 2 hours.
Please.
Yeah, not really much questions. I feel like a small fish with the big sharks here, so I don't really have much knowledge about this app, but it's really amazing. I really liked this meeting and it sparked more curiosity towards this. Yeah, I'm not really any questions to ask.
Okay,
I'm not
fine.
in that domain.
Aline?
No question for now. Still
Okay.
trying to understand everything.
You'll get there.
My one might sound mean. How much, when you were coming up with the MD files and the structure of the understanding of the agent, how much was you versus how much was the agent explaining itself?
I had a lot of directions to do. So blueprints was my idea, sensor, drifting sensor. So the minute I realized when it's wrong, so yeah, I have.
You know the game Marco Polo?
No.
Basically where one would say Marco, the other one has to refer to
Yeah.
Polo. I had it as a system prompt right at the top, and any time that I was thinking it was drifting, I would say Marco, and if it would need to respond Polo, and then continue. And if it didn't, it passed and that's before we kind of had the percentages of where you were. With
For example, what I did, I developed not only a messaging system, but also a system of delivering. So let me go back to, and I realized always it was drifting, but it wasn't respecting the rules. So for example, all these scripts, I didn't deploy to the server directly. I always watched what it produced, and you can imagine you can't read everything. But I have, let's say, a trained eye because I did it before myself so many times, correcting so many things on the server. So this comes from years of self-learning and hitting myself. So it wasn't, let's say, like a reckless, stupid thing which I didn't understand. I done these scripts before and I researched manually everything and I done it myself. So it wasn't new information, completely new information. So it was easier to spot errors than in a different way. And I made this system. For example, I had, this was called Project Atlas. So for example, I had this run.txt and I had make executable, which basically had to read from this run what script to execute and to create the report about it. And it delivered back a master report. So for example, we had a master report which was delivered from the server saying what was done. So we have a reporting system for each script, and it could generate one script or several scripts, and it has... No.
You received it after all the...
Yes. So basically, on this computer, I was creating the scripts. I was sending, if it respected the procedure, I was sending them to be executed on the server. I executed there myself. I watched what it generated and where it extracted the data. This is how I learned everything. And as soon as things went wrong, so for example, this run didn't contain the proper file, or I had, a lot of times I had to rethink the thing it produced and to say, oh, okay, you went wrong, or what will we do? So when it returned where it is, master report, so it had to create a file master report which extracted from the script the things which I organized, and it respected the blueprint. And it has a timestamp, a proper timestamp, so everything was pretty well organized in the system to get the right text txt file. Sorry.
I really
Back.
recommend you work terminal. You should give it a try.
Yes, but I don't, maybe 10 work terminals.
It has agents.
Yeah, it has agents.
A lot of them.
You
Okay.
You don't need to install close stuff. You can
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
For terminal
it's really
commands,
smart.
shell commands is the best, I think.
Yeah, I'm not an admin. My admin didn't tell me about about it.
Tell
But
him about it.
okay, warp.
Warp terminal.
Warp terminal.
Okay.
Warp terminal.
Maybe.
If you want, I can show it to you.
Another version control.
Can make a talk.
We fucking bash.
I don't think I use it in that advanced level.
Warp.
Yeah, anyway. So sure, I'm open to new tools and to be wrong because this is how we learn. Okay? Anna Maria?
I used to say till 10, 15 years ago that I'm not a tech person as I'm philology. I have a background in philology and had nothing to do with anything like this. But then Liviu took me everywhere, tried to took me everywhere. Come and see. Doesn't matter you do not know, don't understand, we'll see. And I went to Textilvania, and I went to Web Summit, and I went with whatever event was there. Besides that, Liviu was all the time talking to me, even if I said I do not understand. And you know, it's like in a foreign language, like Hungarian. I do not speak Hungarian, but I know some words. I know when somebody... Yes, szívesen, drága. When somebody is praising you or when somebody is cursing you. Yes, exactly.
Bocsánat.
Yes. It was like when we, at the beginning when we met, he used to take me to the pools and go rafting and go with the banana and everything. I said, oh, it's cool. Then I said, oh, wait, I need to learn swimming. Because I don't know if it's only relaxing. So now I said, okay, this is serious. I need to learn this too. And I took some notes here. I'm not only his partner, but I'm only his memory disk sometimes. And one question for you. Do you believe tomorrow we could cut the birthday cake? Yesterday for you?
That's the great
Yeah,
question.
sure.
The question of the night.
This is true. His birthday cake is in the fridge waiting from yesterday.
Okay. Sure.
My turn, huh? So...
You didn't answer.
I said yes.
You said sure, but
I thought you said yes.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm currently concerned about is the state of AI, because in the Microsoft interview there was a topic that became a bit concerning, and I'm interested in your thoughts, everyone's thoughts on the matter. They are thinking to increase AI's leverage in decision making. They want to no longer consider AI as a tool, but as a partner, semi-human partner. What do you think of that?
I think it's so reckless and stupid.
Isn't it?
Yes.
It's not just me.
Yes. Absolutely it is. This was the best teaching experience of my life. I realized that's why I said I will do a replication server for my email, a one-to-one, just read, so you understand, and an action which is not connected to anything but, okay? And it can only send an email to me.
Yeah.
And then I can review it. And it initially I will say, send it as an MD. Yeah, okay, so I don't get some crawlers.
So what do you think are the metrics to take into account in order to get to that? Because you realize that we'll get to AGI, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, this is why I'm preparing it. Again, maybe
A list of 1,000 MDs, of course, yeah.
maybe the way I do it, it's different. But I like to feel in control.
Me too. Everyone.
If I do it, Yes. If I do it with a tool which has AI and I don't know how to steer it and to properly understand, yes. For me, it's unsafe. And you can imagine if I go to a client and I'm confident and I say, look, I did it for my business. It's not like...
It's not like I'm just selling it without understanding how it works and what it does.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in control.
I risk my business to do it properly, to find the proper ways and the safe ways to protect passwords, to protect private keys,
security data.
How? Yeah, I will ask the client. How do you know that your private keys are protected? Who tells you that?
No one. No one.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And after that, it even tells you the tools you're using.
And I will provide the scripts. I will provide the scripts because I will teach.
I'm not protected. Yeah, it's easy.
Because the client has to have the scripts to be able to take the scripts, check them with an AI, and say, okay, is this script safe for me?
How does the client know that this is what you are running?
The client will have the full solution, full operating.
But there are clients who want SaaS solutions. They don't want to run them by themselves.
That are not my clients.
Can you miss a lot of
create a
clients
SaaS from this?
Sorry?
Might create a SaaS from this. A visual.
Yes.
A visual tool,
Yes, but I'm.
like an ERP.
Yeah. Well, Spheral AI and so many people are doing similar things. But what I want to teach the customer is to be able to do something like CloudBot, but in a smart way. If I teach him how to harness things properly, look, I won't be able to understand all the internal process. It's like for myself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Limited.
Exactly.
We have limits.
But creating the new type of thinking, understanding the security, understanding breaking things teaches you.
Then why don't you allow kids breaking more things?
Well, my kids are breaking a lot. Don't make me go there. Don't make me go there. Okay.
Don't break the cake. Let's cut it.
Please.
I wanted to ask how many of this information that Claude helped you to write, did you know before you started this project?
As I said,
You responded.
Yes. So I used everything. I made it before, so it's not like I didn't do it. So when I saw, that's how I learned about drifting. So I researched what's happening. So that's why I'm saying this experience taught me a lot about all this kind of knowledge, all the keywords, all the things to use, SOP, ICP, you name it. Yeah, exactly. Yes. To do fishbone analysis, to do things which I knew from my experience in other kind of projects. Okay. So yeah, I'll show you something. Maybe, okay. So just for you to understand the kind of things we do. Okay. Sure. Okay, so these are the kinds of things we build in Romania. This is done in Oradea, will be ready this year. This is Blush. So we are kind of a hands-on company.
So you're creating the concepts and other company creates the final product, or how do you make the group?
We basically create concepts in the company, and they produce the products, and we supervise their installation on site, and we are distributors of these companies, which are quite big. Okay. And this is a part of what we are doing, and we are doing also other parts. But these are our suppliers' references. So. Yeah, and we bring in other kind of nice things. So we bring pump tracks, skate parks, and bus stations and so on. Yes, so yeah. We sold all around Romania, so we are.
Good question.
So, yeah. Okay, please.
So I'm a little bit newbie in this area of AI. Why did you choose Claude instead of OpenAI or Gemini or other?
Well, I started with Aider. I don't know how many of you used Aider. Okay, we have one. Aider was, so when I looked at Aider, research for Aider code, Aider was starting to write its own code. So if you look at, so I had a look at the percentage of code which was written by Aider itself. I used the Aider and I created, for example, for the county council last year, not last, 2 years ago, they had 6,000, să vă zic în românește că e mai simplu, am avut 6.000 de dosare de procesat pentru panouri fotovoltaice și baterii și erau disperați, aveau doar 2 persoane la birou respectiv ca să instaleze fotovoltaice. Și atunci a trebuit să creez pe genunchi, că n-a fost prima dată când am vibe-coded an app and it worked. The app worked. So after 3 weeks, I did my own concept, I did the system, and 6 persons in Satu Mare processed with 1 month extra the same amount of papers which 2 persons in Baia Mare processed. So I designed, in 3 weeks, I designed the system, I made it work, and it was used, and it brought in Maramureș, I think, 1 or 2 extra million of euros of projects with photovoltaics. So yeah, I done real work, and maybe we'll implement, actually we'll do it at the prefectura, how it's called, prefect office. Sorry? No. It's the it's the county something. It doesn't matter. So we
Why did you choose Claude instead of OpenAI?
Claude, basically when I saw Aider, so initially I worked with Aider, and I really liked the way it was working on, like it was like command prompt. Yeah, I work with computers since command.com, so it was familiar to me, and I realized I made real products. So for example, 1.5 years ago, I had a real problem translating technical sheets. So again, this comes from things I had to solve in my own business. To translate technical translation for tenders. So when you do tenders, which are real things which you have to translate the tender papers, and you want to do it in an automated way. And what Google Translate did, it didn't recognize the columns. So for example, it didn't understand this is a column. So when you had several columns, you put in Google Translate the documents I have, and it didn't understand. So I had to design for myself a translation system for hundreds of files. And I did it. So I did it better than Google Translate. It was my use case, so I had to do it. And I used Aider. And that was more than 1.5 years ago. And slowly, when I updated, I saw how much percentage. At some stage, it was like almost constantly about 90%. Most of the time written by AI. And it was reviewed by AI, plus the developers. And when I saw this progression, it made me think. And then Claude came. And using Claude, I realized it's a lot more systematic. So for example, when I use ChatGPT, I can't tell you exactly, I can't pinpoint you when I give things, and sometimes I give them both the same task and I look, okay, this is better, or I do this like a Ralph Wiggum loop with between AIs to tackle things. And that was the stage when I decided Claude is better. And it was way before people actually started to hear about Claude and use Claude. Because I watch, I don't know, thousands of videos. My wife knows. I watch like 2-3 hours minimum of YouTube while working. I use 2x speed or 3x speed, and yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Please.
So as a vibe coder, let's say, do you think that ChatGPT and OpenAI, Claude, everything already crawled everything from GitHub? I believe they bought everything from Microsoft, the so-called closed repositories and so on. Do you think that the models will improve in the next few years as more and more Vibe code is pushed to GitHub? So let's say, will they have better training data or new methods to improve?
I can answer you the way things are going right now. So Andrew Karpathy, which is one of the top coders in the world, said 100% of its AI, of its code, it's written by AI. But
That's not correct.
okay, it doesn't matter if it's.
It's a very small percentage actually written from his code. He has only one repo that is written fully by AI. All others are like 90 plus. Vibe coding.
Okay.
The percentage to look at. So when they're actually hiring at Claude, at Anthropic, they do a test for efficiency inside of AI. Now, Sonnet was getting good. Opus and Opus 4.5 is better than 80% of the applicants that they get. The next version of Opus is basically going to be better than probably 90% of their coders that are building the AI. And Opus is now feeding into itself to start coding itself. It's creating it more efficiently, and it's adding extra functionality.
Well, I can tell you, they will do it in several ways. If you use, for example, Lovable, you can see it has already automatic testing. So it opens, and I use this a lot. So for example, if I go to ChatGPT, how many of you use ChatGPT agent to test interfaces? Yes. So for example, I can show you. I will show you two ways which I will debug and detect the error we just found. Okay, and this is the way I do it. Let's do something real. Okay, so here for 100% I have this problem. Okay, let me go here. So I go to 3D view. I go here. Okay. Yeah, right. It will work. No worries. Okay. Yeah. Again, it doesn't train on my code. Again, so I use a company account. It's not allowed.
What's your average spend on AI a month?
It's a good piece.
Mine, I spend, last month I spent 70 quid overall, and I did 3 projects.
Well,
70 quid, 70 pounds.
Yeah, a lot more, for sure.
In a day.
But no, but we have a subscription, so we use them. Okay.
When you use the ticket, I've built basically a ticket system, and using that, what I can then do is I can then get the AI. So the way I get charged by my AI is when I send a prompt. So what I do is I have my AI basically access the next ticket in sequence and then run it itself. So I could run like 200, 300 pounds or euros worth of tokens, but only get charged for the prompt because it's basically injecting. Yeah, it's like running a sub agent.
Bun, și so what I do, it's I copy this and I move here to act without asking, and I do the same thing. I go to ChatGPT.
I'm Scottish, so.
Okay, so I go to ChatGPT. Basically, I move here to agent mode. Okay, just a second.
Use the company knowledge part.
Okay. Then I say, okay, I paste this, okay, and I give the context. And this is how I found the mermaid fix, and I just copy pasted the result. And it spans. Okay, here it's very good because what I do here, I add many tabs. So for example, I want to do a comparison or an extraction of content. So I want to compare some Hetzner with Webtropia, what else I can do, or identify the issues to give the whole context on my DNS settings and so on. So I go only on an individual page, so I use it as a tutorial, so I don't know what to do, where to find on some interface. So for example, if you migrate from one host to another, everything is placed differently. So, okay, so it says disabled, undefined, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't look just at the web dev tools, but as you said, I don't know who said it, it can also debug and test. So I can say, okay, debug it and let's see it working. And here, because I'm cheap, I put haiku, and usually it gets stuff done, so I don't have to. Okay, and let's see if it manages to do it. And in the meantime, I can look here, and you see it just works. So here I can say, okay, I need the one with 3D view, because I made a mistake. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you can see it's pretty fast. I used this kind of mode. Look, it works.
It works on AI.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Now I can tell you one thing. I have so many tabs open, and now with the live stream, who knows? It might be. No, I mean it. It might not work just for me. So you see it.
That's the opposite of it's working on my machine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working on my agent.
So maybe it's just on my machine, but I killing this machine. I have to buy a new laptop anyway. But yeah, you see, it's working. So
Actually,
it's.
I think all applications will converge to something like this.
So, but true story, I use this a lot, test my applications, and deploy on a test server, and I give to the AI to prepare a full report, what is missing. So I say, I use ontology, taxonomy, give me all the things in a structured format, so that I move fast and iterate to the next level. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that basically you are not a programmer anymore, you're a project manager or project owner with those and these. They're so verbose, I don't know, is it hard to do all the checklists, to do all the reading for those and these? And
basically, that's why I did the mermaids.
yeah, okay.
That's why I did the mermaids, the D2. D2, it's a good thing because it's JSON based and you can also see it. Also, the conversion to images, again, I must emphasize, it really helped me. So doing these images to look at the process.
Big picture. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it really helped me a lot on this journey. And I think, and this with JSON, MD with JSON, it's just recent, and I shared with everybody because I think we together we can find a lot more solutions and share things on the chat. I'm also on a 600 AI group on WhatsApp, and I'm in many AI groups in Repatriot AI, and so.
Repatriot AI?
Yes.
What's that about? I mean, okay, I have Repatriot.
The Repatrio group has an AI group and defense group and whatever groups.
And I was wondering how much time percentage of the development did you spend on mitigating hallucinations? Because
Very little.
really?
Yes, because as I said, I develop a sense of understanding of how to not go over the context, how much to give. So for example, in Claude, I use a lot of projects. I don't know if you use projects.
It's basically using your pattern recognition as a better. So you know when you look at something, you go, oh, I think it's operating this way, I think it's using this, etc. It's like that, but just because we've read so much with the AI, it's being able to spot that very quickly. So for example, like if you go on a website, you see it's done by Bootstrap or it's done by Tailwind, so you know instantly.
Yeah.
Look here.
Even if they've changed the theme, even if they've modified it slightly, the structure, the components, you know, if it's using a UI framework, whatever.
Right.
Same principle, but just how like authors will be able to identify other authors by the way that they write, by the cadence, all of this. It's a similar thing. That's why.
I have 3 years. So look, just on this account of Claude, because I have several, just on this account I have 1,000 chats. I have so many projects. I have ChatGPT. As I said, a lot of. I learned how to structure information, how to put things on project, how to develop them. Yeah, it's here. It's the yeah. So each and it's 3 years of grinding. 3 years of grinding hard.
Yeah, managing everything. All stages of development lifecycle using AI.
Not only development, as I said, it's and business. That's important. Yes, that's important because I had to do invoices, I had to do offers, I had to tackle all 360 or spherical overview.
Part of the organization, you are wearing the 6 hats.
Yes, exactly. 1,000 heads.
You are the CEO of a company in this account.
Pretty much.
Yes. So that's why in no, this is not yet.
HR advisor.
Yeah. let's not go there. Okay.
But we have a business development.
Yeah, you see. For example, here, if you look in projects, if you go to 5%, you will not go to indexing. Okay. So in projects, if you add little context, so you have to be really careful about the context. So for example, here I have all these. You can't bullshit things in children playgrounds.
Yeah.
So it's also what I do which makes a special rigor. For example, legislation. I work on the knowledge system for lawyers. And for example, in some laws, there are the same article twice. I mean, you have the same number of article twice. So when I constructed a doc system, because that's a scrape stage. So this is the first huge hallucination of the AI. And that's why I learned. So I constructed a huge knowledge system which I can't use. Okay, with everything part of it, it's right, but I can't give, I will lose completely my credibility unless I do it properly with accurate, perfect information. This is my goal. Because I can't overleap my competitors. I have competitors 10 times my size.
Yeah, that's the issue.
And who have heavy bags to go to the city councils. Yeah, and we don't do that. Okay, and we don't do that, and we don't want to do it, and we'll never do it. So we are developing systems which are accurate, which are to the point. Yeah. To give correct information, everything is gathered in knowledge graphs from the suppliers and combined. Okay, I think, yeah.
I might have another one, but it's more general than what you presented. Considering the current state of things, for the current engineers, the future new engineers, is there any future in engineering anymore?
Absolutely.
I know it is, but what does a current engineer, project manager?
I just explained the new job. I just explained the new job. This is the new job. To understand when it drifts, what sensors to put in place, what hooks to put in place. You know a lot of.
I know them, but.
And to separate. I didn't say about the plans, for example. So, for example, I use sequence of plans. So when I realized something has to branch out, I say move this plan to the queue, and it does it, and it's very nice. And I tackle the problem which I encountered right then, and I say queue the next, and it works.
You give it a set of
yes.
tasks actually to do.
No, we have to we have to differentiate. We have to go to plan mode. That's really important. Yes, if you are in plan mode, yes, you receive all the questions tables, and then you go to 4 to say another thing, and then you say, okay, move this plan after the current plan, because we have. So, for example, with the server, I have many stages when I had to say, okay, postpone this plan, or I opened another agent to tackle something because it happened. So I said, okay, create an MD, send the information to the other system. So because of always thinking about context size and everything. And I'm positive right now that I can, I have to redo this system with the laws and everything extracted from the right places to help customers. Yeah. This is the job for developers. Yeah. But and it's a lot more complicated than it seems. It's just the same thing you did before.
Did,
exactly.
In a different manner.
Exactly. It's just the same thing, but it's.
You don't have to dig that deep in the beginning. You need to be a
Actually, you dig a lot deeper. I will show you.
If you build the entire system yourself.
No, for clients. I will show you one of my files.
You could try a RAG system if you have the laws already in PDF formats or other formats.
I will show you something at the level I want to work with, and right now. So okay. So the level I work right now, this is the ideal client profile. So this document, it's a crossover between everything in MDs, and it's actually accurate. So this is a huge file, which is accurate, which says...
proper documentation.
Yes, but look at how big this file... Look how it's organized. Well organized. Of course, I wanted to make dark mode. I have highlighting tool. I wanted highlighting tools. So for example, I can go here and I can mark things and I can say whatever. I put labels and it's, yeah. It's complex. Look, steps, whatever, financing. So this is looking closer to what I'm aiming to achieve in complexity. And this is what the level of detail you can go into with AI. You couldn't have gone before such depth. This is the difference. You can.
This you wanted to split on some skills or something, or how do you want to fit into the LLM?
This system basically I stripped into MDs and knowledge graphs. Yeah, I have subscriptions. That's why I have them.
No, but it's not about subscriptions, it's about the context window.
Yes, but as I said, so for example, when I work with ChatGPT, what I like about ChatGPT, ChatGPT can structure things in many, many files. So I do directly on chat interface. I say, okay, make so many folders and also on Claude. Usually it gives me a zip of I don't know how many MDs and scripts. And it tests locally. I don't know if you used it. So it does the test on Claude or on ChatGPT locally on a virtual environment. And it gives me everything ready to go.
You mean now about what? About transforming this in MD or what?
Not only on every kind of project. So I live like 4 Claudes. So for example, today I use 4 Claudes and 4 ChatGPTs simultaneously. And I switch between them, this on the web. And also on I have like 4 consoles open on the server.
Okay, but this is what you describe. It's more practical with skills in Claude.
No. These are, yes, I use. These are files which are for me. This is Clockwork. I don't have Apple for now. Yes, but yes, but what I'm doing, it's crossing. It's not just I'm building one MD. I'm.
Yeah, but you can use Clockwork to do that. From what I remember.
Yeah, you can. Okay, but why I'm asking is you don't want to load all the MDs in the context, right?
No, I load just what I need.
No, but those are skills. So skills are especially designed for
it's
that.
different. It's different.
Yeah, skills are better.
No.
You've got skills, which are kind of, and then you've got your MCP, which is your tool use, and then you've also got another one, which is prompts.
Yeah.
Right, and then like
Look here. This is not. Yeah, you can say this is really information. This is not a skill per se. This is information system. This is the logic.
But these are skills, so.
Yeah, you can say skills, but it's not design skill. It's information about the company.
Why wouldn't you use how the agent knows to understand and process information better? Yeah, but to understand skills better.
But this is not skills, it's company information. How can it build?
Okay, but you don't feed it to the...
Yes, I feed it. But
for that are skills. Read a little bit more about skills.
But...
Is the doc in the first paragraph is skills.
Yeah.
You keep not using what they are giving the tools.
Better in that case.
You don't use skills.
I have packages of skills. That's different. When I say skills, from my perspective, it's how to do something.
I know, but it's about AI perspective. It's the agent perspective.
Yeah.
So how you structure your logical information, you can do however you want.
Yes,
but if you prepare it
this is not the how to. It's the data.
I know, but the data
it's not a skill.
LLM through. I mean, this is how they call it, but it doesn't matter. You can call it A,
yeah,
X,
okay.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
I'm saying about cloud skills.
Yeah,
Okay. It
okay.
doesn't mean that it's a skill or it's
I
aptitude
understand.
or something. Okay.
Yeah, it's
a way
like,
of structuring
yes,
the
of course I
data.
took it from skills, but I feed data. And
Why
it
wouldn't
works.
you respect the skills structure? Because then it's multi-agent. So it's
No.
skills are compatible between agents.
Yes,
It's
I
a
understand.
standard, okay?
Yes.
Like MCP.
I understand, but this, because
Is what? And what is not recent? Everything is changing. Right?
yes, but
Next week we'll do a discussion.
my information is different.
When you were writing this, it was before it was.
I know, but now you can rewrite it. But I see you are against skills.
Not against
Okay,
skills.
I'm not that. If you design it before skills, it's fine. But then you would want to move it to skills because it's the new way. Like you don't stay and use XML fast, you know. I mean, it ain't stupid if it works, but it can be smarter.
It can be smarter.
If my
Because it doesn't pollute your context. It knows exactly, it does lazy loading, and it can also delegate to agents. It's how the agent is designed to do it more efficiently, you know. It's exactly for the context.
okay, I will make a note of skills. A skill, it's an SOP.
You can see like an index, has like a
It can-
headline. It loads only that in the context, so it knows that okay, if I want to load more,
As
I
I
need to go
explained
there.
with the scripts.
I know,
Like
but
in the
it's
script.
how the agent is designed. I mean,
Yeah,
why
progressive
would you want to
disclosure.
Why
But I
would-
do
Why
this.
would you want to be Microsoft and design your own HTML instead of respecting the standards? You know, that's all I'm saying, right? And this is how we evolve. You know, contributing and creating standards between us.
Okay, I will check. I did create my own standards.
Exactly, that's what I say. Don't create your own standards.
I did.
It's not standard if it's only your own.
Why not?
It defines the definition
It's
of standard.
it depends. It's standards for my agents.
That's how it begins. You your own standard and then you do the
I
work.
know, but there are always standards present. I'm not saying, okay, you can do when it doesn't
Anyway.
exist.
But what I wanted was basically the front phone to not be 6 days thick.
Okay, let's see.
I'm also losing my mechanism from the back, and I started to have a dot in the middle. There you go. I have a tiny dot in the middle.
Oh no.
This is the latest one.
No, this is the
No,
fourth.
this is
That's
the
the
latest
latest
one.
one. It is.
Is the trifold?
No,
No.
we don't go there.
Look how slim.
Trifold is
Ew.
stupid.
Don't scratch the camera. You're scratching the cameras.
If you have money for a trifold, you have money for a whole laptop, tablet thingy. Because a trifold is.
Okay, dear internet fans, we are going offline. Thank you very much for everything and listening to us, and I hope you had a good time with us. And yeah, maybe you join us next time in person, not to be still here. Yeah.
We have beers.
Yeah, we have beers. And networking. So, bye-bye. Have a great day.
Thank you.
It's me. And the others. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Liviu. That's very
Right. So we have real people here.
Are you sure?
Hey.
Agents in disguise.
Okay.
No transformers.
Bye-bye.
Agents.